Alright, shaggers and fandangos, so a few years I've watched the podcast where I gave you a little insight to me. I never done so good on it, I never went into depth because it is a fun podcast and then I want to thingy, but thought, hey, a few years I've asked in private mail on here, asking to elaborate. So, what it was is, I was born, obviously, in English Hospital, Dundee, as you do. My mum was a single parent, dad wasn't about. Mum had to work really hard, as you do as a single parent, never complained, never moaned, always put food on the table, had the best of gear, had clothes, computers, never went on holidays because there was just me, my mum and my brother, that's all we needed. Sadly, my mum had her ailments, due to my ailments, I've got the same, which meant we had respite carers, we had to go in and out of respite carers. My auntie was amazing, my two aunties, sorry, were amazing, they took care of us when my mum was no well. Mum had kidney disease, heart disease, kidney failure, Lynch and FAP syndrome. Moving on, I tried to join the army when I was 16, tried to join the parachute regiment. Sadly, due to my condition, I was medically discharged and unable to apply again due to having several scar tissues and my scars not healing properly due to surgeries. So then I done mechanical engineering, went from mechanical engineering over to civil engineering. From civil engineering, I become a plumber. I actually wanted to be a welder, but I couldn't be a welder because the age gap that people want is a 16-year-old, not an 18-year-old. Left school with no qualifications, teacher done the usual, or you'll never amount to anything. Failed the plumbing test 3 times, but the teacher took pity on us and gave us a 4th test, which passed. Which is strange because I've done mechanical engineering and civil engineering, but it's stressed and I don't do very well on their tests. Later in life, I had a job. I got a job as an apprentice plumber, came a plumber, done apprentice plumber of the year, 3 years on the trot. Came third in Britain in 2017-18 for plumber of the year. Had a plumbing company for 10 years. Sadly, I've had to give the plumbing company up due to my bowel cancer getting worse and therapy and treatment. But sadly, as you get older, you start to lose folks. So I've lost my mum to her conditions. I lost my brother to epilepsy and a brain hemorrhage. Lost mainly everybody I ever cared about. But you move on, guys. So I've got 2 twin girls and I've got a lovely wife. And now I may not have a company anymore, but what I am looking forward to is my new career path, whether it be in nursing, facilities management, or clerk of work. Anyway, this is not a be poor me thing, it's just because people were asking in the private comments about, oh, how did you not go into more detail? But that was the reason why, because I didn't feel like that was the proper platform to put that on. But I hope it comes over okay, and any other questions, feel free.